Hey, what up, dudes? That was not necessary. Why'd you throw that? um, Mandarin here coming to you again, guys. How's everybody doing out there? Here to give you my comic book review for this week. For the last week's. Hope everybody had a good weekend as well. Want to give a shout out, even though he's in the opening, but this time to Blue Goblin. He had celebrated his birthday Friday, and he had turned. Well, I'll leave that alone. I won't show his age, but he's still a big kid at heart anyway. But no, he. I hope he had a good birthday. Uh, as always, I did send out a gift for him. He should get it by next week. I was a little late. I wanted to send it out last week, but so he can get it and maybe even open it on like a video or something like that. But I hope when he gets it, I still hope he does that. So yeah, I'm talking to you, bro. But other than that, everybody, I would appreciate if you go to his channel, subscribe, and things like that, and wish him a very happy related birthday. Uh, very much. So, got some books for you to cover today. We got a decent amount of Marvel, decent amount of DC, and still, since we're in June, that's the lineup: Marvel, DC, and we'll end it with Independent. Okay, so the first issue. Sorry, I'm just putting my books down. um, we're gonna deal with is none other than Astonishing X-Men number 51. This is Margaret Liu doing a fantastic job. This was a very, very touching issue. Yes, North Star and his lover tied the knot. Um, Made a big deal out of this. Really, everybody was there. They said Avengers was there. I did see some Avengers, like Spider-Man was there, and the X-Men, Wolverine side. Storm was there. It was funny seeing that. Alpha Flight, people like that, they were all there. It was more of the dialogue side, and North Star having qualms about getting married. Him talking with his sister Aurora, and but also there's still ties to what's going on with Karma, why she is controlling people. But most all it was about, yes, it was definitely about the wedding of North Star and his lover. Uh, and I give full-hearted credit to Miss Liu for doing this. You could tell right there, that was definitely her idea. This has to be her idea, and it was really well done. Nothing really to go on and say it was bad. It was just a very nice, touching story. Um, you know, like it or not, if you're against that, that's your problem. But if you have no qualms about it, it's cool. Astonishing X-Men, number 51. And if everybody sees somebody flipping across that's my bro. He's trying to get out of the shot real quick, but I don't mind. Next up, we have Avengers versus X-Men, round 6. Um, this is the variant edition cover. That's the only one they had, so I had to get this one. Uh, Listen to a lot of my friends' reviews, and of course my mentor's review first. Um, he's right about one thing. If Scott Summers did not come off as a dick as more as he is now, you gotta be kidding me. He comes off straight as a dick now that he's powered up now or with the Phoenix Force. And I'm looking at it now as that he's gonna get off on this. This power is gonna corrupt him even more. We got Professor Xavier in this issue. Yes, I was hoping Xavier was going to make an appearance in this somehow, because I'm tired of them leaving Professor Xavier out of stuff. He needs to be there in this, and we see him in this issue. He talks to Magneto. and then he talks to Scott, and Scott is basically twisting his logic of thinking, like, Professor, we're living your dream now. We're making peace and everything like that. And that's kind of arguable in this, because even the Avengers, like Black Panther and Beast, are even starting to like question, like, okay, what are they doing wrong now? They're not really attacking us or anything like that. So there were a lot of things in this book that was kind of interesting to say, but eventually a certain individual sees something that's going to happen, and I'm going to spoil it. I'm sorry, guys. Wanda Maximoff, aka Scarlet Witch, she knows this is not going to last. So she basically kind of intervenes. We kind of get that in this issue, but it was okay. It's just that, yeah, Scott, major dick. I'm sorry, major dick, very much major dick in this issue. All right. Next up, Avenging Spider-Man number 8. No, excuse me. Yeah, number 8. This is the Ends of the Earth epilogue, and Dan Slott helps out Templeton, Trent Templeton, on this. He's the writer, but Dan Slott is kind of helps him out. Even it says with help from Dan Slott. So this picks up right after the events of Ends of the Earth, basically. Spider-Man is with the Avengers, and he's reluctantly with Horizon, and he's searching where Doc Ock's base was, and he's in a scuba suit, and he's searching, and he's like, I gotta find her. I gotta find Silver Sable. And Black Widow's coming like, Spider-Man, they need you up top. You gotta go. You're running out of, and he's like, no, I'm staying down there. And she's like, no, that's not an order. You gotta go. You gotta go, Avenger. And he comes back up, but he's really mad at himself. He's the usual typical thing that we come to love about Spidey. He's really upset about it. And Captain America's like, Spider-Man, you okay, son? I always get a kick out of hearing Cap call somebody son, but it actually makes sense because he's a lot older than most of them. So he's like, I've been in a few wars. This was war. Sable knew the risk, and you had to do what you had to do. And he's like, no, I didn't have to do that. And then basically this is a backstory of Spidey tells a story of when he first kind of met, when he got to really know the real Silver Sable, where she wasn't this cold-hearted mercenary that he used to team up with back in the days. And also Doctor Strange is in this. That's basically what this was. It was really funny where Hawkeye and Spider-Woman, like, I can't believe Spider-Man saved Doc Ock, man, I would have left him down there to die. And what about you, talking to his girlfriend, Spider-Woman? What about you? She's like, that's Spider-Man. I don't know. I would have left him to drown as well. And then you got Owatu, one of the people from Horizon, saying, you guys are superheroes, right? Like, I thought that was funny because, yeah, they were talking like, yeah, I would have left Ock down there. But yeah, it was okay. I'm looking more forward to the team up next one with him and Carol Danvers as Ms. Marvel, because maybe we might get a little bit of that. They might spark that back up. Because personally, they should have went through with Carol and Peter hooking up, because she really likes him, and that one date they went on kind of looked like they were sparking something. It'd be good to have Peter with a girlfriend that can literally take care of herself now. Don't really need, his backup all the time. And Marvel has really been pushing their relationship really well because they've been really good as teammates. They've been coming up with uh, tag team moves and stuff. Tag team moves. But yeah, pretty much. It's been real fun. So I'm hoping they pull that off again. All right. Next up. Here comes Daredevil. Daredevil number 14, Mark Waid. Don't ever leave this book, bro. Don't ever leave this book. Marvel, if you make this guy leave this book, I will hunt you down. I will hunt everyone down who made that decision. Once again, this book has been excellent. Daredevil finds himself in Latveria. He was mysteriously teleported there. And you think he's dealing with Doctor Doom. wrong. He's dealing with a subordinate that used to work under Doom, and it becomes a chase scene for know Double D. He's trying to get back, trying to get out of the borders of Latveria, but they're not making it easy for him, very much. But this was just a very quick, quick-paced thrill ride for the Man Without Fear. I don't want to spoil too much for you, but yeah, this was just really good. All right, moving on. Invincible Iron Man number 519. This is Long Way Down, Part 4. Matt Fractions, Salvador LaRocca. No, can't question Salvador LaRocca's artwork in this. Fraction, as I've always said, booyah! Best book you write. Yes. Best book you write. We're still continuing what's going on with the Mandarin and the infinite chess game between him and his adversary, Tony Stark. Of course, we know Rhodey is in the costume, this new costume, but we get to see Mandarin actually cut loose in this for a while. It's been a while since we've seen Mandarin cut loose, and Ezekiel Stane's son wants out because he knows that Mandarin is kind of controlling him, and we get a good fight scene between that. They are able. A lot of things are going on, which I don't want to spoil too much. See, I don't want to spoil this too much, but the bottom line is, it's just basically it's a big chess game between Mandarin and Tony Stark, pretty much. Yeah, like that kick. I could do more. Yeah, no, I'll just mess with you guys. Next up, New Avengers number 27. This seems to pick up right after issue number 6 of Avengers versus X-Men. Hope finds herself in Kowloon, basically the mystical city where Iron Fist, basically grew up and everything like that. And he's finishing telling the story of Fungi, excuse me, this woman right here who was a previous Iron Fist who did battle with the Phoenix and became a vessel for the Phoenix as well. And we actually get to see something in issue number 6 of Avengers X-Men with Iron Fist. Like when he sees the Phoenix Force, he actually sees something with him as well. It was kind of interesting. Basically, the master of Kowloon basically is saying that, Hope, we need to find out what's going on, who is to teach you and everything. You may need training. And she's like, so am I going to become an Iron Fist? And he's like, and then Danny's like, well, there can only be, basically kind of quoting the Highlander, there can only be one. I'm the Iron Fist. And then his master's like, Quintai's like saying, maybe. What do you mean maybe? There can only be one, right? And so they go to this mystic spot where they meditate, and a bubble of water will come up and showcase like what's to come and things like that. And you see the Phoenix Force, and Hope is like, okay, it's true that I am destined to be the Phoenix and things like that. And all of a sudden, a spider symbol comes up, and then the master's like, the spider. Then I know who's to teach you. None other than you're looking at him, Spider-Man. So he's like, okay, what am I supposed to teach her? Wasn't she trained by Wolverine and Cyclops and Cable? Yeah, Cable. So Rachel's like I'm not dressing up like you, and what am I supposed to learn from you? And he's like, I don't know. And then even the master of is like, maybe she's supposed to learn self-loathing. It was kind of funny, but the message of what really is really the basis of the book, especially at the end, is basically those famous words that Uncle Ben left Peter: "With great power must come great responsibility." He tells her that, and sure, she's like, "What is that supposed to mean?" He's like, "You get that off her cereal box?" And he's like, "No, my uncle used to say that to me during breakfast." Well, yeah, sometimes. And he's like, "Those are the words," and he gets in depth into why those words mean a lot to him, and it kind of clicks. It kind of starts clicking with Hope. Like, okay, tell me more. Like, as soon as he starts walking away, no, wait, hold on, tell me more. Like, what else did he tell you? And that's kind of how the book ends right there. But yeah, it was interesting to see that. Like, okay, maybe I think people think Spider-Man, you can't learn anything from Spidey. I mean, that's bullshit to me. Like, you can learn a lot from Pete, and um, those words do mean a lot, if you really look at them like that. But yeah, this was a very dialogue-based story, but really good and best. And Diodata's artwork is just superb. All right, next up, good old Frank Castle, Punisher number 12. Greg Roca, Marvel again. I will kill you if you take this man off this book. Basically, this book is plain and simple. Frank is looking for looking for Sergeant Rachel Cole, another Marine who went all vigilante like Frank when her family was killed during her wedding. However, basically, this is kind of a story where Frank is telling her, like, look, you can't be like, he takes a picture of her deceased husband, and she's like, there's like a little fight between them, and she's fighting him like, give it back, and he's like, rule number one, the dead don't hold on to things like this. Empty all your pockets. Phones, no nothing. The dead don't do this and everything. And it kind of was like, you're looking, when you read it, it's more like Frank is telling um, Rachel, like, look, if you want to be like me, this is what you got to do. The dead don't use money. We don't do this. We just have a purpose of this. And you look at it, it's like, are you talking about, are you telling this to her, Frank? Or are you just trying to wean her off? Or are you trying to get her out of this life? And it came off really interesting. You don't really get to see that from the Punisher too much, but really good touching issue that centered on just Frank and his beliefs and things like that. I really enjoyed that very much. Greg Roca does a great job on this book, very much. And oh man, I can't pronounce the artist. Shesh Checheto. Yeah, I hope I'm saying your name right. Artwork is really good, very good. Punisher number 12, guys. All right, moving on. Secret Avengers number 28. What does that cover? Look at that. As Ms. Marvel in her binary powers. Got that right, people. Yes, indeed. Rick Mirender. Ms. Marvel goes binary in this book. Now, this story takes place before Avengers number 26 and 27. The Avengers are on the Creed homeworld Hela, and they are trying to stop the Phoenix from coming to the planet. First, they're being controlled by the recently reborn Captain Marvel, um, and later on their control is over. But they kind of, to wean off the Phoenix, Thor and Ms. Marvel go out, and basically, she basically opens up like this. Thor able to open up a wormhole, and she kind of goes. They really go in depth into this, but um, we get to see her use her binary powers again, and she kind of cuts loose for a while. And I was like, yeah, when she's at her binary powers, that's when she's at top notch. Especially if you know Ms. Marvel like I do, yeah, she gets when she's at her binary powers. Whew, yeah. Um, all the fans of Captain Britain will love what he does in this book as well. He really cuts loose as well, but it's a certain character that basically steals his thunder in a way, so he doesn't sacrifice himself against the Phoenix. And let's just, you know what? Let's just spoil. Okay, how do you bring back Captain Marvel and then you kill him off again? You know, he sacrifices himself to protect Hela. You know, and I'm like, wow, y'all brought him back and he's dead again. Damn, like so, and it kind of makes you wonder now, why does Ms. Marvel become Captain Marvel now? You know, in a way. But this was very interesting. Um, Indeed, it was really good to see, Ms. Marvel use her binary powers again. It was fun. It was really fun. I love that part. That was one of my favorite uh, parts in the book. All right. Next up. Oh my God. Venom number 19, Savage 6 Part 2. Rick Mirender. Oh my God, sir. This was excellent. Jack-o'-lantern, you bastard. My God, this guy's a bastard. Man, Flash has a lot to deal with. He's trying to keep Betty alive. He's trying to keep his sister alive. And what happens to his mama in this? Man, he's just trying to deal with so much at so fast, and so he can't call for help because he can't call for the Avengers. He can't do this. He's got to do everything on his own, and it gets seriously, seriously dire need for Flash, especially at the end of that book. But yeah, jeez, this was so good. I don't want to spoil too much for you guys, like I said, but yeah, Jack-o'-lantern in this book is a bastard. You really want to just, strangle this guy. You really want to see Flash get to this guy and strangle or just put a bullet in his head. I'm sorry, but this was just really, really good. Really good stuff. If you're not on board with Venom, get it. Or I have to kick you. I'm just messing with you. Next up. Another good book, Winter Soldier, Ed Brubaker, number 7. That is a lovely, nice cover. Uh, Looks more like old 60s drawings, like especially like James Bond and stuff like that. If you can see Black Widow, and all of them. The last sleeper agent that Bucky trained is just causing havoc. He knows Bucky's alive, and he's just plaguing Bucky through and through. Just leaving him all kinds of clues and just bodies everywhere, just saying, I know you're alive. I got you. I know you're alive. You're not dead, teacher. I'm coming for you. But I'm going to leave. I'm going to kill everything you hold dear to you. Then I'm coming after you. That's pretty much how I can sum up this book that Brubaker did. Bottom line, he's going to destroy everything and everyone that Bucky remembers and cares about, and then he's coming after Bucky. They even really get in depth into a little bit more of Black Widow's backstory of where during her time in the Red Room and everything like that, where her and Bucky first met and fell in love, things like that. It was really good. And at the ending, don't want to spoil that. All right, next up, gonna make this quick because this was just really, really quick. Wolverine number 30, 300, 308. Bottom line here, let's put it like this. Wolverine, Dr. Rot, people die. Wolverine cuts loose. People die. Wolverine cuts loose. People die. There you go. That's all you need to sum it up. Very much. Very much. And Wolverine just, you know, cuts loose. All right, and ending the Marvel books, XFactor number 238. Peter David, salute, thumbs up, salute. Yes, once again, there are a lot of things going on in this book. First of all, we got Ronnie Wolfsbane going to look for her son. Uh, Richter and Shatterstar go with her. You know, just being good friends, teammates. We got Madrick and Havoc, Alex going at it, talking about he wants to investigate more. There are deaths being killed by someone using siren-like powers. Now we know Banshee here has like almost like her power, her voice is not just to is not destructive. It also is like a pheromone like power. Like she can allure people. Like the banshee's keen, can be very lovely and silent. But when the banshee keens, men die. Sorry, that's basically it. Sorry, I got that from Gargoyles, guys. But yeah, there are a lot of stories in this that were really good. Very good indeed. Um, Guido is just really funny in this book. Strong guy. I will agree with a lot of people about lame superhero names. I gotta admit, Guido's superhero name is kind of lame. Strong guy. Like that's it. Like could have came up with something better, but I don't go all crazy about it. But yeah, this was just really good. Peter David, no slouch, especially with the cliffhangers. We all know Peter David. He shows it in when he's writing for TV. He shows it in the books. There you go. Let's move on. We'll move on to DC. And we'll start it off with Batman Beyond Unlimited number 5. Okay, we got Adam Beecham, Nugent, JT Crew. Those are the 3 writers in this book because there's 3 stories containing this. The first issue, good. The first story was really good. This was done by Adam Beecham, and it basically showcases the great nephew of Joe Chill, who was actually the guard that killed Terry McGinnis's dad. And you see at the end and you see the downfall of him and what he's become, and the rise of looks to be a new hero arriving in Neo Gotham. He basically, because I'm reading this and I'm like, he's like, my great uncle killed 2 people, and I'm like, who's your great uncle? Then at the end you see his old armor when he was working for security under uh, Powers, and it says J Chill. I was like, oh, no way. So I was like, Joe Chill. Now I get it. Martha and Thomas Wayne. And now he's plagued with killing, Terry McGinnis's father, and seeing Terry McGinnis look on, they would show him on when he was watching the newscast of them at the funeral, and he says, all I was plagued with after that is the look of Terry McGinnis's his oldest son's face of sadness. So it was really good. Then of course the next issue is the final origin story of Warhawk, how he became who he is, what happened. That was really interesting too, because basically, bottom line is Adam Strange comes to find Shadow Thief as well, because it's Shadow Thief that kills Mari, aka Vixen, right when she said she'll marry John Stewart. John Stewart and Shira and Adam Strange go to find Shadow Thief. John Stewart kills Shadow Thief. Not with the ring, not with the mace, not with Adam Strange's powers from Rand. John Stewart just takes out an ordinary gun. Pop, dead. I was like, interesting. And because of that, the Guardians remove his ring, take his ring from him, and pretty much they have a ceremony for Vixen. And I'm sorry I'm spoiling too much, guys, but I don't think everybody's reading this. They take Mari, Vixen, back to the village, the African village where she's from. They have a big ceremony there, and the chieftain of that village say that they can stay there. So pretty much that's where John Stewart and Shira retire to. They retire there. They they fall back in love, and we all know what happened. Warbird basically is born. They teach him about Thanagarian, and he becomes really good in tech. He even helps out the Thanagarians from getting their planet back from the Gordanians. But after the Thanagarians don't want nothing to do with him because they think of Warbird as a mongrel, a half-breed. They don't like it. He's half-breed, so that's blasphemy. But he finds a home back where he's born, and of course with the League. And then the other story is pretty much the legacy, a Superman story with the legacy that J.T. Krull wrote, with the legacy of that even in his death, Lex Luthor is still plaguing Superman now. Overall, it was good stuff. Really good. That first story was really good. And I did like Warhawk's origin. Not bad. Batwoman number 10. Bottom line, Mr. Williams is still doing a good job, but I want you to go back to the original format. I'm with my sensei on this. I'm with my mentor. I don't like the whole you're telling this story, then you go to this story, then you go to this story. Keep it straightforward. I don't like that. I'll stay on board like always, but I have to agree kinda with my mentor. If you continue to do that route, it might wean me off the book. I might have to wean off of it. But yeah, I can't. I don't like that. You know, telling this story, telling Katie's story, then telling this story, telling that. No, keep it straightforward. But it was decent. Okay, Birds of Prey number 10, Toxic Warfare. All right, Dwayne Swazinski. First of all, yes, Starling is a hoot in this book. The gang goes to the Amazon because they have, before anything, we are heard that Poison Ivy gave specific instructions to Diana where to take her if something bad happens to her. So that's pretty much where they go. All of a sudden, their plane gets shot out of the sky, and they crash lands in the Amazon. And all of a sudden, they're being attacked by the Green in a way. Um, but it was interesting. It was fun. I'm wondering where everything's going to go because it leaves where Ivy says, "I'll explain everything to you." So I really want to know where everything goes with that. I'm thinking that these living, walking plants are Ivy's inventions. I think that's my vision on it. But it was still fun. Um, we got a scene of Batman in this. After they took down the Talon that they were facing, and Batman's like, he's kind of being a little dick. Saying like, you trust Ivy. You can't trust her and everything like that. And Batgirl tries to sum it up like, don't let him. He's had a rough night. Just let him be. But is I did like the conversation between Starling and Batman. That was really funny. But yeah. All right, Blue Beetle number 10. In the clutches of Mr. Bones. Yeah, Tony Bedard takes Jaime further and further deep into what is Jaime supposed to do in New York. He ran away from El Paso, Texas, because he didn't want to hurt anybody else. You know, the Scarab is really trying to protect that identity. Don't tell nobody. If you tell anybody, yeah, then I'll be forced to take them out. And we've seen him do that. We've seen the Scarab do that. So Jaime, has ended up in New York, just trying to keep people safe. So he ends up in the clutches of Mr. Bones, who is the head operator of the DEO, the same organization that Batwoman is working for. And Jaime came there for help. Because he thought basically, Kyle Rayner could help him. The first thing Kyle Rayner told him was, don't, as a hero, don't conceal your identity to nobody. And even the Scarab starts to, like, yeah, remember what the Green Lantern said. Don't reveal and you got Jaime saying, oh, so now you trust him. And he's like, affirmative. I was like, okay. But yeah, they're running all these experiments on him and like, how do we get this armor off and everything like that. So Jaime has to escape from them. And the ending is really cool because the next issue we get somebody that's going to show up in this book that we've seen Blue Beetle team up with, that is solid gold. There's your clue. Yeah, but it was cool. Oh man, Johnny. Peter Tomasi, Green Lantern Corps, number 10. Guilty. Johnny boy. Yeah, man. John Stewart fans, you're not really gonna like this book too much because they just keep just trashing on John, man. It's just like, can you give this guy a break? Like, what the fuck? Come on, like. But overall, it's still good. I love Guy's dialogue in this book. He's just, and a lot of the Lanterns book, I love their dialogue, and like they're actually, you would figure that some of them would stand against John. Majority of them are standing with John, and surprisingly, those blue-faced bastards are not so much of a bastards in this book. I don't want to spoil too much of this, but yeah, uh, good stuff. All right, Nightwing number 10. Kyle Higgins picks up now back on what's going on with Nightwing. Before the whole 90 Owls, there was a murder, and the murder weapon was one of Nightwing's Ecrima. How do you say it? Crim. His sticks. I'm not even gonna pronounce those sticks names. So now he's looking into what happened, and he comes into contact with a new group that calls themselves the Republic of Tomorrow, and it pretty much goes there. But it also goes more into the fact of he gets a call from Lucius Fox telling them that there's a settlement going on with there's money that's coming to Dick from his parents' death, but it's not really enough. And Dick is very proud. He doesn't want to go to Bruce for money, and um, Lucius gives him an idea, like, okay, then maybe we can get some from the bank. And the only bank that will actually might help you out, especially if you want to restart the circus again, really, is the bank that a person by the name of Sonia Zuko works for. Yeah, and we also know, when I just said that last name, Zuko, the man that killed Dick's parents. His daughter runs the bank that he needs to talk to. But she's changed her name now. They said in the book, they said she's changed her name to Sonia Branch. Like, that she doesn't want anything to do with her father, his name. But yeah, don't let the cover fool you too much. Dick is not swimming in a pool of his own blood. But yeah, it gets that way. And there's more into it, but I don't want to spoil too much. Especially with Commissioner Gordon looking into a detective that might be he has a hidden agenda against Nightwing and everything like that. But yeah, it was good. And this Republic of Tomorrow and their leader Paragon could be leading up to something really good. All right, moving on to Supergirl number 10. Trapped in the world of the Black Banshee. Mike Green. Last time we met, we left off. Supergirl went inside the body or so or was absorbed into the body of the Silver Banshee's father body. And this is pretty much, it gets really like, you know, uh, Dungeons and Dragons in this book a little bit. But it pretty much, we get to see a lot what goes on. It was just it's basically, the story goes, the real main of the story, feature of the story is basically how far are you willing to go to protect a friend, even if you just met her a day, but you feel really close to her, and that's pretty much what Kara does, because remember, Kara still only speaks Kryptonian. I don't even know if Kryptonese is really, but still Kryptonian, and Silver Banshee, Sonya can understand her. So she's going to protect a friend, pretty much. That's all this was. Um, just about friendship. Friendship. Yeah, that's all. All right. And last but not least, we have Wonder Woman, Brian Nazarella. So how did Wonder Woman marry Hades to protect Zula? I don't want to spoil that for you guys. Um, you know what? No, she didn't. But she fooled him really good. Um, Bottom line is, Hades wanted to make sure that Wonder Woman actually loved him. So he basically took her own lasso, noosed it around her neck, almost like she was going to be lynched with it. And basically, legend goes that once this noose is around your neck, around you, you can only tell the truth. So Hades basically says, "Do you love me?" And she says, "Yeah, I do love you, but I'm not going to marry you." Basically, I won't be held down by any man or God, including you. But the bottom line in this book is that, yes, Diana does love Hades. She says, "Yeah, I love you. I love everybody. I love everybody." But, you know, it was a little interesting, but the way Diana really uses her head. It wasn't about fisticuffs. Even when people come to help her, she's kind of like, "I don't need your help," everything like that. But it was more of a good piece of outsmarting the Lord of the Underworld. Um, and the guns that she's carrying here, she never really uses until the end. She gives Hades a little payback when they're leaving the underworld, because the guns belong to Hephaestus's son. He crafted it for his son, and he's like, "Can I borrow your guns real quick?" One time, she was like, "Oh, sure. Here you go. Is your aim true?" He's like, "Yeah, it's true." And she shoots Hades for shooting her in the last issue, which was really funny. That's all it was. It was a good issue. I like what they're doing with Wonder Woman. I'm sorry, guys. Yes, I'm sorry. I like what they're doing with Wonder Woman in this book. Um, it's different. It's different. It's cool. It's not all, I'm Wonder Woman, pow, bang, boom, boom, boom. I'm Wonder Woman. It's a little bit different. I like that. Okay? DC's done 2 independent books. So we end it. First off, we'll kick it off with IDW, Snake Eyes, and Storm Shadow. Chuck Dixon. This is issue number 14. Storm Shadow is still in the Roshikage. He's still infiltrated. You know, he's not joined them. That's what Storm Shadow thinks. He's joined just to take down Cobra because they think he has a common enemy. He's actually trying to demolish it from the inside out. Take it down. They're still after Zartan. And Zartan's now talking to the new Cobra commanders like, they tried to come out. They almost killed me. You're supposed to help me. You know, help me. And, you know, Cobra Commander's like, you know what? I'm getting tired of Zartan's bickering and boasting. So he tells his assistant, Savannah, who looks so much like Storm from the 1970s with the mohawk and everything like that, like, you know, take him out. So it gets more into that. But it also gets more into Snake Eyes' backstory with his training, him and Storm Shadow's training with the Hard Master. We find out that the Hard Master was the one who found Snake Eyes when he was a baby, wrapped up in this soldier's uniform, crying and everything like that. That's why they named him Hitai, aka Soldier, in Japanese. So it was kind of interesting. But yeah, it was fun. Snake Eyes nearly gets to Zartan again. Well, he kind of does get to Snake Eyes does get to Zartan, and let's just say Zartan might not make it to Sydney, Australia, with Snake Eyes left on his plane. Let's just put it like that. But it was fun. Atkins' artwork is still great, and Chuck Dixon, he knows the G.I. Joe franchise very well. He does a very good job on that. Very good. And I thought it'd be great to end it with none other than The Shadow. Number 3. Garth Ennis, Aaron Campbell. Shadow is still on the trail of General Buffalo and Taraso Kendo. And he's trying to bring him down, man, and they just keep sending people after him. Now Lamont Cranston, his alter ego, so to speak, they kind of play that up that the Shadow may not be Lamont Cranston, and his female assistant, female Margot Lane, are in Hong Kong and things like that, and they're working with the government to try to find these people, the Kendo and all of them. And once again, Garth Ennis just keeps showing off new abilities that the Shadow is just. Let me put it like this, guys. The Shadow shoots this guy point blank in the head. Bam! All of a sudden, Shadow just looks at him and was like, "Where's Kendo?" And he figured, okay, this dude just got shot in the head. He's dead. This guy's talking like he's still alive and getting interrogated. I don't know where he is. Everything. And I'm like, what? Wait, I gotta read that again. He shot the guy in the head, right? The mystic powers, once again, the power of the Shadow is great. And is showcased in this book very well. Does Shadow catch up with the General and Tarso Kendo? No. But it's very likely he'll catch up with him soon. But this was great. Garth Ennis has been really doing good on this book. And it's only 3 issues in now. But yeah, I've been loving it very much. And that cover is just badass. Just Shadow in all his glory. His scarf is making the S for the Shadow. That's cool. Very good. So that's all I got for you guys today. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Once again, check out my mentor, my bro, good friend, Blue Goblin's channel, both of his channels. I ask you guys to subscribe to them, not just for a favor to me, but you really like what my mentor delivers. And as well, send him a happy belated birthday. You won't regret it. Just a very keen, lovable guy that I truly love. Other than that, this is Mandarin Kid once again saying peace, with love, stay tuned, keep it real, guys. I will see you guys next week, God willing. As always, peace.